Hello, 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 everyone. How are you doing today? Today is Wednesday. Today is the last day of October, and I'm excited. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you probably know why I am so excited for this being the last day of October. Oh, I love it when it's Halloween. I love when October 31st gets here. It is just so wonderful. I hope you guys have already gone out and take your kiddies trick-or-treating. Hopefully you were safe and all that. Some of you may still be out doing your trick-or-treating and all of that. Hey, you guys. So we're going to go ahead and dive in, and I'm just going to go ahead and get started. So I am Javita, and excuse me, first of all, and I help single moms go from feeling powerless and fearful to devising a plan to help build and cultivate her network and her net worth so that she can live a life full of love and abundance, so she can really get her happy back, so she can feel empowered and really take control of her life, just change her way of life. So that's what I help single moms do. I help everybody do that, but I am focused on the single mom because I know her story all too well. So anyway, today's Wind Down Wednesday topic is perception really reality? Think about that for a moment. Is perception really reality? Is what you perceive really the reality of what you see? Because sometimes what you see isn't really what you get, and then sometimes what you see is what you get. But how do you know? So I've been thinking about this perception versus reality thing because, like, I've noticed that when you come across, and I'm taking it from just like meeting people standpoint and getting to know others, because when you're trying to build community, build your village, build your support system, you need to know that what you're getting is real and not just what you perceive or just what's being put out there. You want to make sure that you're not just meeting the representative. You want to make sure that you are actually meeting the real person, that's standing physically in front of you. And sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes it takes people a while to show their true colors. But I'm going to start off by kind of defining what perception is and what reality is. Well, the dictionary version of it. I've done a little research, so bear with me. So, I always go to my handy dandy dictionary.com. So it defines perception as the ability to see, hear, or become aware of something through the senses. Like you can feel, you can perceive, I can feel that this person is a great person. But the reality is the dictionary.com states reality as a world or state of things as they exist, as they actually are. So you can look at someone and perceive and have that perception that they are this angel, this nice person, and all of that on the surface. But once you start peeling back the layers of that person, you may come to see that the reality of them is that they are just cold-hearted and mean. We all have our different personalities. And some people could say the same about me. I don't think so. I don't know, but maybe they can. But anyway, let me take a sip to that because somebody might come back and say they can see me being mean. Anyway, but that's just what it really is. So you have to be careful when you're meeting people, especially if you want to bring them around your children. You have to be careful with meeting them because what you see may not be what you get. What you see may not be the reality of the situation. Sometimes, even when you build these relationships, build those close knit, family inside of a family type, atmosphere, then you realize like years down the road that this person ain't really your family because you're finding out different things about them. They could have betrayed you in some way, shape, or form. Don't know what that betrayal could be, but they could have betrayed you. And you can sit there and smile in your face because they're perceiving, giving you that perception that they're your friend, they're your best friend, they're your ace, you're really, really cool and all of that. But the minute they are not in your presence, the real them, the reality of them actually shows up and shows out. And it's not until you grasp all of that or someone comes and tell you that you really find out that, hey, I met your representative the other day, but when are you going to show up? So you just have to be very, very mindful and really think, is perception really reality? And my opinion is not in all cases. Perception is not really reality in all cases. That's just like me and you can look at one thing and see totally and perceive different things. But the reality of that situation is going to be the reality of it. And we both could be thinking different things because we both met a different representative at that time. So when you start to build your circle of people, of close-knit people, you have to really keep that in the back of your mind about the perception you are getting, the perception you are receiving, and kind of seeing, because if the perception is really reality for that person or even for you, because you got to make sure that you're not giving off some perceived idea of who you are. And then later on, they find out that you aren't, who you said you are. Because when people start to find out that you aren't who you say you are, they lose trust. They stop talking to you, or they still may talk to you, but it's not going to be the same. And you're going to notice it. You're going to feel it. The energy will shift. You will feel that shift in energy, and you'll be like, dang, it's kind of weird, but, maybe it's not as bad as I think it is. But yeah, it really is, because that person is now trying to disconnect from you some way, somehow. They're trying to disconnect because what you gave them, what they perceive you to be, is not the reality of who you are. So you have to look at it, what you're giving and what you're receiving, because perception is not always reality. It really isn't. You have to think, what's the word I'm looking for, you guys? Oh gosh, just drew a blank. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I'll keep talking. But when you're really thinking about, building that circle of trust and building that circle, that surrounds you, your inner circle, when you're really truly thinking about building that, you really have to evaluate each person on a deeper level. You have to get out there and get to know them on a deeper level. And in the process of getting to know them, they have to get to know you. So you're going to have to share a little bit of yourself so you can get a little bit more knowledge about them, so that you can peel back and know that what they're perceiving to be is either their reality or it's not. So again, I'm going to ask that question, is perception really reality? And I think it all depends on the situation. It just really, really depends on the situation. I would love to hear your comments and feedback on that. I know sometimes I get like latency and stuff with the comments, but I will respond to each and every one of them. But I would like to know what your thoughts are. Do you think perception really is reality? Please do comment. Comment below, and we can have a discussion about it. But I really, really want to know what you guys think about perception being reality. Or is that even such a thing? Are they two different things? I think it can be. It can be two totally different things. Then it can be one and the same. All depends on the person and how you're seeing it and what you've peeled back. But you have to do the work. So when you build in that circle, you have to do the work, and you have to see like what it is that you're perceiving. Is it really a reality? Or even is the life you're living really a reality? We have a lot of folks out there living this perceived life, but that perceived life isn't their reality. A lot of people who look at people who they believe are living a perceived type of lifestyle, and they don't really know the backstory behind it. I'll give you an example. So here's a chick. She looks like she got it all together. She's probably making she's doing well for herself. Let's say she's making 6 figures or whatnot, right? She's doing real well for herself. Her kids are well. They're well-to-do. She lives in a nice house. She drives a nice vehicle. She's dating a nice guy and all this, that, and everything looks like it's really, really good and her life is great. But is that her reality? Is that her reality, or is that what she wants you to see? And so she's presenting that for the world to see, but who knows what her reality really is behind closed doors. If you don't get to know her, because you want her to be in your inner circle, if you don't get to know a little bit about her to see that, the lifestyle she's living is really her reality, then you'll never know. It'll just always be a perception to you. So you have to really get out there and really get to know the person. And no, because people do that. People live a perceived lifestyle and you just don't know the backstory. She could be broke. She could be in debt out of her tail. She could be over 6 figures in debt. Even though she's making 6 figures, she could be over 6 figures in debt. You don't know her struggle. You don't know, or his struggle, but you don't know her struggle. You don't know what she's going through. So you have a perception about her life, but her reality is not what your perception is. So that's how, we look at the world and we perceive that we know how someone is, but we really don't. So it brings me back to that question. Is perception really reality? And I still say no. And it all depends. It just really all depends. It can be reality and it may not be reality, but you have to decipher that for yourself. You have to, and that you have to keep that in your mind. It's like when people say the grass is always greener on the other side. Yeah, the grass may perceive or appear to be greener, but guess what? It may be greener because the person on the other side is actually taking the time to nurture it and make sure, water and make sure it's getting everything that it needs. So if this side is doing what it's supposed to do and this side ain't, the grass on this side is always going to be dead. It's not going to look alive because it's not, and that's the reality of the situation. If you don't do what you need to do, then your grass is going to be dead on your side. But if you do what you need to do, then your grass will be greener because you have taken the time. Your reality is I need to do what I need to do to live out my reality. I don't need to do all these other things to live out a perceived life. So I just want to leave you guys with that thought. And as you continue to build your communities, build your support system, build your network, just build just people, your community around you, as you just continue to just build and make connections, have these various different types of relationships, just always keep in the back of your mind that perception may not really be the reality. All right. I thank you guys for joining me today on the last day of October. And my family is on here, so they're going to guess. They can't guess. But anybody else who kind of don't really know me can tell me why I'm excited about this being the last day of October. I may have a surprise for you. And I'll take the first comment. The first person who's right, and I'll let you know, and I'll be fair. And I will make sure, and I will probably private message you that you won. And I will probably send you a nice little token of my appreciation for guessing why I am excited about the last day of October 31st. All right. Thank you, guys. I love you. Thanks for the support. Have a beverage or 2 or 3. My glass says on Wednesdays we drink red, but today I'm drinking white today because I just feel like drinking some nice crisp white wine. Okay. All right. Thank you guys. Talk to you later. Bye.